We are the Ultramarines, the sons of Guilliman. While we draw breath, we stand. While we stand, we fight. While we fight, we prevail. Nothing shall stay our wrath. This is the Ultra Smurfs, the Space Smurfs of the Warhammer 40k universe. And here we go. This team is consistent entirely of nothing but tier 3 or lower units. We can see it if we click here. These are the best Ultramarines I've gotten. I've never had a tier 4. You can see all my tier 4s right here. 2 Space Wolves, 2 Blood Angels. So we are working with what we've got. We have 3 that are tier 3 and 2 that are tier 2. Let's start with Kronos here, because he's the coolest one. He's so badass. Mr. Kronos, the team leader. He is an assault marine, the first one we see. He's got a big power axe that, I don't know, axes are not that special compared to swords, I think. Swords have a chance to block, while axes has a higher... they have the same chance of counter-attacking, which is kind of the melee weapon thing. Melee will be back and forth between both users, so there's a 50% chance that this marine will counter-attack in melee, and then his counter-attacks are 10% more likely to hit and do 20% more damage. That's nice. Then he's got a gun that is just tier 3, which is a little plasma pistol. Pew pew. Alright. Nothing special about that. Then he's got a lot of abilities, and he's got everything unlocked. So he's got Whirlwind, which is a melee attack against every surrounding enemy. He's got Hunker Down, which is every 4 turns. He can do a 90% damage mitigation until your next turn. That is insane. He is a super tank, Mr. Kronos here. He runs forward, pops this thing, does his spinny attack move, and then prays that the enemies will be mowed down by his teammates. That's sort of his thing. He's got 30% melee damage mitigation already, on top of the 90 when he uses that. Triage. Let's see, he heals for... at the end of his turn, he heals adjacent marines 5% of their max health. So he doesn't heal himself from this one. It took me a long time to understand the writing here, but that's how it works. Melee specialization is more damage to melee weapons. Then he's got Resilient, 15% damage mitigation again. And then the Ultramarine gimmick is this one here called Battle Brothers, which most of them have. I think everyone except one of them has this trait here, which is just 5% extra max health and 5% accuracy for each Ultramarine on the team. So that is plus 25% to both health and accuracy. With these things, I am not 100% sure if it counts yourself as well, which I'm honestly getting to a point where I don't think that that's the case. So it might be 20-20 instead of 25-25. I'm not really sure. The way I read it, though, it should be for each Ultramarine on the team. But that's not a guarantee. Then for war gear, Mr. Kronos has a shield, Iron Halo, which only Ultramarines can get, and that makes them immune to critical hits from the enemy. So that is a lifesaver. Then he's got Rite of the Warrior for 15% extra damage to melee weapons. And then what? I didn't see the other thing. Oh, he's got an incendiary grenade. That's wrong. He needs a plasma grenade, if anything. They have the higher tier 1s. Yeah. So that's Kronos. Let's take the next tier 3 in line. That'll be Gerard. Gerard here is kind of new, but not that new. Okay, he only is missing his last war gear slot, and then he's level 17. He's got the Kate's arrow that we found one of in the previous episode, which is not a bad weapon. It's a good boulder all around. It has low crit chances and low crit damage, but does a lot of fires a lot of bullets and good range, and that's sort of the gimmick. Good damage as well. And he's got free fire, the same as Jurgen in the previous episode, so he can fire at all enemies in range every 5 turns. Then he's got the Glory of Guilliman. Once every 3 turns, you give 40% extra damage but minus 10 accuracy to all Ultramarines on the team. Right? So then he also has Covering Fire, so that he has a chance of not spending AP when he fires an Overwatch. And I didn't Overwatch a single time in the previous episode, but trust me, we will be doing it in this one. He's got triage, same as Kronos, so when they're standing next to each other, they're now healing each other, but anyone standing next to both of them will heal for 10% of their damage every turn. So, like I said, Ultramarines really about, sustainability. They survive, and then they heal each other. And then he's got Battle Brothers for that sweet buff. He's got Born Leader, so this is for himself. 1 AP for every 2 adjacent Space Marines at the start of your turn, and it rounds up. So if he is at close to 1 Space Marine at the start of his turn, he gets 1 AP extra at the start of turn. Then at 3, he will get 2 AP. And then at 5, which is not possible, he would get 3 AP. But he can get a maximum of 2 extra. And then he's got Resilient for 15% melee damage. Or not just damage mitigation in general. He's got Impedance Field here. I think that's what it's called. Refractor Field, which is a passive 25% dodge against range attack. And then he had one up here, a Plasma Grenade. Now, that's Gerard. The next in line, the final tier 3 guy we have, is a little bit lower level. He's all level 8. He's missing 1 ability here, the Hunker Down, that Kronos already has. Then he's got the same Deadeye shot that the other Devastator had in the previous episode. He's got Covering Fire, but this is on a bigger gun, right? So now it's worth more. And it also comes in with that same ability. So he has a 30% chance to attack that AP on attacks on Overwatch cost 0 AP. But this stacks. So he has 2 times chance of rolling that 30% for every time he shoots on Overwatch. And if he rolls it twice in the same action, he actually gains AP back. So you not back, but on top of what he already has. So, and then he can keep firing with that. So you can imagine that he can keep overwatching for a long time. I'll show you how it works in this episode, I promise. This guy, for this big baby here, fires a lot of bullets, and then in half range, which is, I think, 3 for this guy, it will fire 40% more. So that's probably 3 extra bullets, yeah. So 10 bullets in close range, and it deals a good amount of damage. Then he's got this Eagle here, which I forget what that does, but I believe it's one of the lower ones, yeah. Extra damage when target is below 50% health. Alright, that's Cassius. Then we have Epathus. He's easy to understand. He's the lower tier of what Gerard is, kind of. So he's really high level though. He's level 21 and he has 29,000 XP built up. And we could easily level him, it costs 11,700, but he is aiming to get this War Gear slot unlocked, which he does at 30,000 XP, so we'll get there in this episode, assuming he survives. Let's see what his skimming is. He's got the free fire, so a lot of Daga for him, he likes that. He's got this cool ability, Crack Shot every 3 turns. He can boost his accuracy by 20 and his damage by 20 for the entire turn. Then he's got a Crippling Shot ability, so every time he hits an enemy with a bullet, that bullet has a 2% chance to reduce target's AP by 1 shot for their next turn. He likes overwatching, so he has Covering Fire here, same as the other guys we've seen with it. But he also has Sentry, which is always active, and it gives him extra accuracy on Overwatch. So we give him a gun as well, that also has that ability, Covering Fire, so he has, again, just like the Devastator guy, he has 2 chances of rolling the extra AP every time he does a shot on Overwatch. And this one has a higher volley count and pretty good range. So yeah. Don't level him. Alright. So that's these guys. Then we have an entirely new class that I haven't shown you guys yet, which is the Apothecary. You can imagine what they're all about. They're all about healing and tanking, and then they are also technically melee warriors, and they're not bad at being that. They have an Arthesium that they have to use. I only have 1 tier 4, so I'm switching this over between my apothecaries on every team, depending on what team I'm using. I will always only be using 1 apothecary at a time, because tier 0 or tier 1 Arthesium, the difference is just too big. And then he has this Urus's Word, which gives him the thing on Overwatch as well. So he also likes that, and this one has very long range but low volley count. And he's got abilities. He, of course, has a healing ability. Field Medic. Use a one every 5 turns, but then you heal an adjacent unit for 50% of their missing health. So the more they are missing, the more he heals. He's got this cool ability, Adrenaline Rush. Every 4 turns, he can take 4 action points from his next turn. So that's kind of funny and really, really useful if you use it right. Then he's got Medicae. He heals himself for each 5% of maximum health for each unused AP at the end of his turn. Very, very good. So he can always save AP to heal more. Born Leader like Gerard. I think it was Gerard that also had this. So he gains extra AP if next to other Space Marines. So this is what I said, that Ultramarines, they really like being in a tight group and moving in formation. So they get more AP and can heal each other by standing next to each other. He's got the Battle Brothers thing. The only one who didn't have the Battle Brothers is the low tier guy, Epathus. This guy here. He doesn't have the Battle Brothers. So he needs to rely on his own accuracy to hit. Then he's got... This guy has the Rite of Ultramar, which is an insane piece of equipment. This thing heals all Ultramarines on your team for 5% maximum health at the start of your turns, and this is a passive. So, this team heals so freaking much. You won't believe it. We give him a Plasma Grenade. He is also able to level, but like Epathus, he's at 28,480 XP, so he only needs a little bit to unlock the final War Gear slot, and that I'm hoping that we will get both this episode. So that's it. But here we go. He's been around for long, same as Epathus. They have been with me for almost the entire campaign, both of them. I think Felix was my first real apothecary that I started using until I had a tier 4 guy on. But I love this game because of the synergies on the team. We're running a pure Ultramarine team. We are not using tier 4 guys, but it's arguably better than my tier 4 team because of the overlapping bonuses and such. Oh, here we have Overwatch explained in text. Look at that. Setting a Space Marine to Overwatch costs 1 AP and reserves the remaining AP to be used in the enemy turn. And again, I forgot to read the mission description. But in this one, we are now defending our position after we blew up those pools in the previous episode. The Tyranid hive is now thoroughly disturbed, and they don't like my metal dudes running inside their hive ship. So now they're coming at us full force, and we gotta lay down the Daga, which is why I chose the Ultramarines for this mission, because they like standing still and just opening fire. So we'll try that and see how it goes.
Brothers,
here we go.
You have been detected. Tyranid forces are massing toward your position. Set bombs, break through the enemy, and find a way out of this chamber.
So it's the same map as before for this mission, but now we have set bombs and we have to survive and protect the bombs for a while. So enemies will be swarming our position shortly, and I don't know if we have a turn to set up, but I don't think so. So here we go. I spent 2 of my AP moving Epathus. Then we have this button here that I can click, and you can do an Overwatch. You can only do an Overwatch in a 45-degree sort of spread like this one here. This would be the best demonstration. Come on. Not quite. Yeah, it's a little bit finicky. You can do a lot of shuffling around with Overwatch to make it just the way you want it. Right now, I'm pretty sure everything will be coming from out that side, so let's just get some Overwatches in that direction. Felix, move up here. They kind of want to be together, but it's hard to get that done. I think Kronos, you will just run around the flank here and then protect anything coming through this channel, and not protect everything, but murder everything that comes running through here. We'll get the Devastator into position. Here it should have a good view of most enemies. It won't be able to Overwatch here. Yeah, right, so I didn't show that before. It costs 1 AP, we just read it aloud, but I have 2 AP, so I Overwatch. with my 1 AP here. Now he only has 1 AP. If I unclick Overwatch, it comes back. But he has to use 1 AP and to then reserve the rest of his AP for overwatching. Hope it makes sense. Same here. And Felix is already overwatching. Okay, let's see if anything spawns. Indeed. And they do fire at them as they come in. They're coming in all the way from the back there. Maybe I'll turn the camera a little bit around so we can better see. Like this.
Done, brother, but keep some shells back. You do not know what will follow this wave.
And I love their voice lines. That is the best part. Let's murder this fool. And Gerard can take this kill. I'm trying to feed the higher tier guys, because whenever I get a tier 4 Ultramarine, he will immediately replace either Felix or Epathus, the two guys, because their potential are just lower than the tier 3 guys. So whenever I get a new guy, or a tier 3 Ultramarine for that matter, they will always be replacing the lower tier guys. Let's go closer with Felix and then take that shot. Okay, we got it. Because I want to keep overwatching as much as we can here. You saw that they can spawn out of the pool here, so we want to cover that part. Like, this is pretty good. Epathus is my best overwatcher, so if we can get him to overwatch here like this is good, yes. And now we want to try to overwatch with Cassius here as well. Yeah, that's nice. And even Kronos has an AP available to overwatch with. Like this is what the Ultramarines do best. And I turned the camera around again, my bad. Ha, he died as he came in. Dead. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that I chose the Ultramarines for this mission, as I said. We just keep doing the same thing here. Let's get it a little bit to the side. A little bit to the other side. I wanted to cover those two spots for sure. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe Gerard moves up a bit. If anything, Epathus maybe should move up. You still have good firing angles from here. Epathus can cover. Can we not see in here? Is that really a thing? Oh, he can. Okay, so I just need to do something like this. Okay, really? Cannot hit this spot. Okay. Yeah, but this is good. He hits that spot here, and if covering these hallways here, good, or corridors. Like that. Yep. And not retaining the AP. Okay, this guy retained the AP for shooting in that moment, I think. One of them at least. Oh, he killed that with one volley? Very well done, Mr. Kronos. And now we need to get rid of this guy before he becomes a problem. Let's just throw a grenade at him. Nah, one bullet or salvo should be enough from each of these guys. It wasn't. Right. And how many turns? We need to survive another 6 turns. A little bit more to the side, so we're hitting that spot there. Good stuff. Keep going at it. You're doing great, guys. Let's see. Oh, but they didn't get to fire on that. Sometimes, game, you annoy me. That guy died. And again, we didn't get to shoot at him. That's the first time I recall seeing that kind of shenanigans. But look at Ephathus, he has as many AP remaining right now as he did when he started the turn. Okay, and now we can use their free fire thing. Both for Gerard and for Ephathus. We are definitely being overwhelmed here, and they came in behind Kronos here. Alright, so let's use the Glory of Guilliman, which is 40% extra damage to the entire team, but minus 10 accuracy for the entire team. And I think we do move you up, because then you should get vision on... Yes, one more. Only... We lost vision on that guy, so that was actually kind of bad. Let's do Ephathus first. Because he's got 20% accuracy coming in, so now he has 10% extra accuracy. And 20% extra damage, so he's doing 60% extra damage right now. And then Daga Daga. Good. I think you move back again, Gerard. That was a mistake moving you up there. My bad. Also free fire. Kronos can definitely finish off this thing. Let's just use the whirlwind. Okay. We keep holding down that line. We could use Cassius, but I kind of want to overwatch with him. Let's use Felix on this guy here. Well, Gerard, throw a grenade at him. Very nice. We want to kill steal with him, or maybe Cassius. Let's kill steal this one. Can you hit anyone with a grenade? No. Alright, just overwatch. Path is the same. Yeah, that makes sense. Keep focusing on this side here. Cassius, like that. They should be gunned down before they reach us. Ah, okay, and then he's out of AP. Felix is also disappointing. Okay, that was a bad round, and they're coming in. More spawning on top of us. Okay, let's see. Now it's a good time to get people to bunch up a little bit so that we get our bonuses. Oh, Jesus. Come on, Felix. I still need to work on his accuracy. It's not that great. Fire grenade here. Okay, Gerard, can you finish off that guy? Yeah. Oh, Jesus. We are in a bad spot. Okay. Kronos, you have to come and help. Okay. 1,100 damage. He must have critted. I think we go for... Well, we could still overwatch here. They have to move one space. We need to weaken up this guy at least. Same with... Well, we can throw a grenade at that guy. 41. Okay, that was disappointing. Okay, good. Oh, and we have to shoot at this guy, right? Because the Overwatch doesn't work against ranged opponents, because he won't move from this spot. He's just going to stand still and shoot at us. Okay, I think we try the Overwatch. Is this a Termagant as well? It is. Okay, so we can't Overwatch. Gonna remove that guy and then hope that Cassius, with the 100% accuracy that I'm now giving him, he will almost certainly kill this thing. Yeah, okay, so now we're wasting 2 AP for him, but we could move up with that. Like that. Alright. Yeah. Another Termagant. Took a shot at us. Lots of them are spawning. Time to open fire yet again. Let's murder this thing. Not even halfway. You are disappointing me, Cassius. Overwatch. But we gotta remove him. We can Overwatch here. Yeah, try the Overwatch. Something to note about the extra AP that we get. Oh, and that's true here as well. You can't use the extra AP gained from standing next to teammates for Overwatches. They are only there for that turn, so as soon as I click end turn, Gerard and Cassius will lose some AP. And since he can't Overwatch with 1 AP, he will immediately go off of Overwatch if I do it like this. So I can't Overwatch with him right now. I need to get my head adjusted to this. This is something that I learned recently. And it will be visual in a moment. When I click end turn, Gerard will lose an AP immediately. The question is whether I should shoot with him once. I think I should. And then if I Overwatch with the Pathos, this guy, if they take damage while Overwatching, then they lose the rest of their Overwatch. And this guy will shoot at us. He will shoot at Pathos almost certainly. So we can't Overwatch against him. And we couldn't remove him either. That's too bad. We can't hit him from here. Can we hit him from here? Yes, we can. Okay, that's worth it. Okay, and then Felix won't be able to... Oh, it's better to shoot at this thing. And try to remove it, and we did. Gerard has some good Overwatches in him, so he should go down to 2 AP here. Boom, there. And I didn't do anything with Kronos, did I? Whoops. Yeah. This is kind of bad. Not gonna lie. Oh, here he counters. Or retaliates. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, if I said the first mission was easy, then the second mission here is a little bit harder. Let's use the spinny move here. Good start. Well done, Kronos. Then what? Please remove that guy. Oh, we can upgrade his, or do extra accuracy and damage for this turn. That probably is a good idea. We could also do the same with the whole team, giving extra damage. It's probably a good idea right now. Got that one out of the way. Down with that one. Do we Overwatch or shoot? No, we shoot at this guy. Nice, we got it. And we cannot Overwatch, so we shoot at this one, certainly. Oh, and he finished it in 1. Very good. Epathus is Overwatching. Gerard also Overwatching. Felix Overwatching. And Kronos, sure, Overwatch. Let's lay down some dagger. Show them what's for. Yeah, show them what's for. That's a dead Tyranid. And the other ones didn't get to shoot at him. Yeah, someone moving behind the first one apparently does not get hit. And that's something new that I'm learning as we're playing here. I knew Overwatches were a little bit finicky, but it's the first time I'm seeing it that bad. Okay. We can work around it. Here's a grenade for you. 43. Okay. Sometimes it does really low damage. Gun him down. Kronos, you're doing your melee thing up here. Go kill the Termagant. Oh, and there's another one though. Alright, so this is a good spot for you to use your damage reduction. You are going to be shot at by that guy. Do we overwatch here? Let's do it. Fire once with the Pathis, then overwatch. And Gerard has already fired a bit. Just overwatch. Felix, you might actually go into melee here. That's better for you, I think. Maybe not. Now the enemy also has one less move to get to you, and he countered even, and we missed. Oh boy. Yeah, so he's gonna... I mean, Felix is a super hardcore tank, so don't worry about him. He's gonna be fine, but it's unnecessary damage. And he also gets to counter when the opponent is melee. Yeah, nice. That worked out well. Exactly as planned. I see the next in line here got hit by the Overwatch, but then he's firing. Oh, he's missing. Missing again. Nice. And Kronos will take almost no damage from these shots. 2 damage. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Also, do note that my all my Marines, they regenerate at the start of the turn. Coming in here. Boom. So that's quite nice. Kronos, you have to follow up here. Yes, go and kill it in melee. Like a hero. Good. There's more where that came from, though. Let's lay down some Darker in here. Oh, we've got the free fire again. 2 of them. If we remove this one, we will have more free fire. Move back here. Fire at will. Very satisfying ability. Do it again. For 1 move up, he gets to hit this guy over here as well. Murder! Good stuff. Let's finish off this one. That one. Pathis takes a poke at this one. And then Gerard will attempt to finish it. I think Felix will give it a poke first. Okay, maybe one where you hit. Well, he can overwatch now. Ah. There. And Kronos throw a grenade at that guy. And maybe just shoot him. Good. I think we are getting close to victory. Defend the bomb 0 turns. Alright. So that'll be the last turn. And it went fairly well. Kill him. Nice. Well done, Kronos. My man. Again? No, he doesn't get an attack. Never mind. I think we're done after this. Path is still going. There we go. Defend the bombs. And is there an extraction or no? Alright, victory. So then we get to level Epathis and Felix the final time for their thing. 30,000 XP for an extra war gear slot, thank you. I don't know what we're giving him. I don't think the next team will be Ultramarine anyway, so let's not dwell on it too much. I'm just gonna level these guys, give him the war gear slot here, yes please. And then Cassius has leveled up. At 5,000 XP, how much to get this thing here? Oh, only 7,500 for Hunker Down. Okay. That may be worth saving up for. 1 extra accuracy. He's only got 46 right now. That would really be a boon. You have to remember, though, that the 25 from, or at least 20 from in here, comes on top. And this is easy to forget, but even then, he could use the accuracy boost. I think I will give him 1. But then we'll save the rest here. Alright, so that's it for this. You know what, I can show you guys how to sell cards and such, just so you have an idea of how that's going to, or how that works. If we look in inventory, that's where we were. Yeah, okay. We have the meta pack here at low level, sell that. We can sell the Litany of Execution here. Oath of Fervor. Here's a plasma cannon that's tier 0 or tier 1. Confirm that. So then we have above 100 requisition. We have 100 preciseness. Then we can open another pack then. Alright. I'll sell some more off camera. But this was just to show how that works. Got another veteran in Ultramarines and another Power Fist Hand of Angels. I already have this one, but it's fine. More stuff for selling. And with those words, thank you guys as always for watching. I hope you are enjoying the Ultramarine team. And stay tuned for the next one, which I think will be the Blood Angels. So, see you then, and bye-bye.